Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about Freewell filters. It's a filter system that you've probably either heard of or seen in use. It's a system that uses magnets. So rather than having to screw a filter onto the front of your lens, you start with a magnetic base and then you can just attach any filter that you want to use from this system right onto the front of the lens using a magnet. Real quick and simple. They were nice enough to send us a copy of a brand new filter. It's the hybrid virtual neutral density circular polarizer combination. It's much cooler than I thought it was going to be. I tried it out. I'm going to share my experience with you, what I like. One thing that I don't really like too much about it, but what I really like about it, and I'll compare it to the old-fashioned system that I've been using, the screw-on filters. So first things first, right out of the box, this is a really, the box itself is high quality. The case that it comes in is really high quality. It has a little ring on the back where I guess you can attach it to your bag or your belt. It's almost too nice to carry around with you. It's something that maybe you put on your coffee table. It's a very nice case. Nicely built, nicely designed. Not super practical for shooting out in the field. You know, I carry my filters in a soft or semi-rigid pouch like this. So you probably just want to transfer your filters over to something like that with this system. But right out of the box, the case, everything's very nice, and the attachments and filters themselves are really, really super high quality. Very nicely built. Comes in all different sizes, so whatever the size of your largest diameter lens is. Mine is an 82, so they sent me the 82 millimeter version, and anything that you have, if you're using a lens that has a smaller diameter for the front threads, you can just use a step-up ring, you know, 77 to 82 or 72 to 82, just to get you up to the maximum size. So you really just need one filter system to cover all of your lenses. The lens cap is actually it's a magnetic lens cap. It's got a little tab on the front here. It's very nice. So right off the bat, quality-wise, I'm very impressed. I took it out in the field. I found some waterfalls in New Jersey to take some pictures of using my old system and using this system, and I want to compare them just to see image quality, how this stacks up. So for reference, my old system is basically classic screw-on filters. I use B&W filters. I have a circular polarizer with me all the time. I have a little lens pouch that has all my neutral density filters in it, a 3-stop, a 6-stop, and a 10-stop. But basically what that means is every time I want to change my neutral density, I have to take the old one off, put the new one on. Just a quick recap of why you want to use these filters. The circular polarizer it works basically like polarized sunglasses. It cuts the glare that's reflecting from the sun off of the items in your image. Cuts some of the glare off of that. So just a quick example here of, you can see the water down on the bottom has a little bit of a glare to it. Then I put the polarizer on and it kind of cuts the glare off of that. That's basically an example of why you want to use a circular polarizer. Neutral density filters act as almost like sunglasses for your lens. So it'll cut the amount of light that's coming into your image without changing the image at all. So a 3-stop will decrease the amount of light coming in by 3 stops. A 10-stop will decrease the amount of light coming in by 10 stops. So you can be shooting in the bright daylight with a 10-stop neutral density filter on and getting shots, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes long, even in the bright daylight, because it's cutting the amount of light that's coming in. You want to use that if you want to take longer exposures during the day to show motion in things like waterfalls like this, or really anything else. So that's why you want to use filters like this. So now if I was going to use circular polarizer, screw it onto the front, and then if I wanted to add some neutral density to it, I can just pull one out of my little pouch here, screw it right onto the front. Circular polarizer is screwed onto the front. And every time you do this, it's a few seconds. It's taking time. My 3-stop ND filter, screw that onto the front. Then you got to make sure the threads are caught, and then I'm ready to shoot. Now if I wanted to change, so you know what? 3 stops is not enough. I need 6 stops. I'm going to unscrew this. I'm going to grab my 6-stop and screw it back on. Again, it's not an hour-long process, but it's something that takes time. But that's basically it. So I shot some shots here using the 3-stop, the 6-stop, and the 10-stop. You can just kind of see the difference in the shutter speed as it changes from one to the other, and how that affects the image. But that's using the system I've always been using. So then how does this work with the Freewell system? Basically, with the Freewell system, you're going to take this hybrid combination circular polarizer neutral density filter. Just screw it right on the front, just like you did with the other one. You got to screw this on. But now it's attached. That's how my lens cap works. Very simple and easy. And now I've got the combination circular polarizer variable neutral density right on here. Let's take a look at how this actually works. You've got two rotating things on here. One is the circular polarizer, which you have to rotate to adjust to get the image the way that you want it. And the other is the neutral density portion, which you rotate to get the amount of neutral density that you want. So there's a little arrow on top that points to a 3, go to a 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes from 3 stops to 7 stops. So this really essentially replaces 2 of the neutral density filters that I had before, the 3-stop and the 6-stop, and it replaces the circular polarizer. So I basically have 3 filters in this one thing here. Let's see how it works. Basically, you're going to rotate the circular polarizer to get the image the way that you want it. But now, since there's 2 rotating elements here, it comes with these little screws on the side that when you get the circular polarizer how you want it, you're going to tighten the screws. That locks the circular polarizing into place, and now you can freely rotate the neutral density portion of it without affecting the polarization that you already had set up. You could probably do it without screwing these things on, as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing and keeping this in the same place to save yourself a couple of seconds. But now, rather than having to, if I wanted to go from 3 stops here to 6 stops here, I don't have to unscrew the 3-stop, put the 6-stop on. I can just turn it like this. It's not just a time saver. In a lot of situations when I'm shooting, I'm on a tripod when I'm shooting with neutral density, and I have it all set up, and maybe the front of the lens really isn't in an easily accessible place as far as, you know, maneuvering to unscrew a filter and screw a new one on. Maybe it's hanging over a fence, you know, over a ravine, and I can get to it, I can turn it, but if I drop that, it's gone. So that's another element of it where, you know, you don't have to take things off where you might be fumbling around with things, dropping things. Everything's contained in this one thing. So basically this will be able to stay on the whole time that you're shooting. This is great, especially if you're using a zoom lens. Now, I'm a prime lens shooter. I have a 50mm on here right now. If I was going to change this to a 24mm while I'm shooting, now I'm going to have to take this off and put it onto the 24mm. Basically the same thing that I was doing before. If you're using a, let's say, a 16-35, you're out shooting landscapes all day, you got the 16-35 on there, you put this thing on here, and basically you don't have to change anything all day long. The only downside, like I said, is the fact that it goes from 3 stops to 7 stops, which is a nice range, but it starts at 3 stops. So if you have this thing on here, you have your circular polarizer, which you can just leave on there all day and shoot, even if it's not really effective, you're getting a little bit of an effect. You can just leave it on there all day, but you can't go any less than 3 stops. So let's say you wanted to, you were just walking on a trail and you wanted to handhold and take some shots. You've got at least 3 stops of neutral density on there. You have to keep that in mind, that you're going to get slower shutter speeds while you're trying to do that. Might not be a big deal, might not really change anything. If you're shooting at 1/60th of a second, it's fine. You know, you don't need to shoot at 1/500th of a second, but you can't go any less than 3 stops of neutral density. So I took some sample shots here. You can see basically what I shot with the 3-stop and then at 7 stops, and you're getting really beautiful images. You're not losing any image quality whatsoever using this Freewell filter. Comparing it to the B&W filter, you're getting the exact same results. You're getting no loss in image quality. You're getting really nice images, everything's coming through the colors. The only thing you have to tweak a little bit, and this is really true for any neutral density filters that you use, is the more you add neutral density, when you go from 3 to 10, you're going to have to adjust the color a little bit. It does start to affect the colors once you put those heavy neutral density filters on there and you're getting these really long exposures. You're going to have to adjust, usually just in the white balance, tweak the white balance a little bit, and you'll get it basically right to where you want it to be, but you're going to see the starting point is a little bit different for both of those. So just be aware of your colors. You can easily get the longer exposure images to look the way that you want them to just by tweaking the colors a little bit, just a little bit more in post-processing. But that's true for really any of these heavy neutral density long exposure shots. So definitely very impressed with the system. Cost-wise, like I said, this is 3 filters in one. Depending on the size that you're getting, I'm going to put links down in the description below. You can check these out. Depending on the size that you're getting, 72mm, 77, 82, it'll cost from $150 to $200, but that's for a catch-all 3 to 7 stop variable neutral density circular polarizer combo. Where these B&W filters that I'm using here, they're probably $200 each. So, this is $600 worth of filter in something that's less than $200. So cost-wise, it's really nice. The system is really pretty. Once you start looking into the other products that they have, the system is really pretty great. There's the magnetic base that you can use, and then any filters that you have, you can just take one off and snap the other one on. There are other variable neutral density filters that they have, like a 2 to 5 stop. There's like a 7 to 10 stop, I think. There's the mist filters and snow effect filters. There's all kinds of other filters that you can add in their system. So it's not a bad idea to look into the other products that they have, especially if you don't have a whole array of filters that you've been using and you're looking to start getting into new filters. Look into the system that they have and see if you can put together, a combo of the filters that you need. So maybe it's going to be a circular polarizer, a 3 to 7 stop filter like this, and a maybe 7 to 10 stop if you want to go to a little bit more neutral density. So yeah, very impressed with the quality of the actual presentation, the quality of the images that you get from it. I'm going to be taking this out on a waterfall photo trip to Great Smoky Mountains. We're heading out in a couple of weeks, so I'll be trying this out actually in the field to see if I can get the same kind of results and save a little bit of time in not having to change neutral density filters on the fly. So I'm looking forward to using it for that, because I know for this combo, for the circular polarizer with a 3 to 7 variable neutral density, that's kind of like right in the wheelhouse. That's right in the center of what you're going to be using it for. 10 stop is more of an extreme situation, so this really fits most situations. So definitely very versatile for sure. High quality. The build is fantastic. Highly recommend checking out the Freewell brand new variable neutral density 3 to 7 stop with the circular polarizer, and checking out all of their other products also, because like I said, really impressed with the quality of their products. So any questions or anything, if you've used this Freewell system before, you have anything you want to add, put it in the comments down below. We love to hear from you. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.